Picture this, the year's 2012. You come home from a long day at school, and you hop onto your Xbox and load up the best Call of Duty. Yes, I said it, Black Ops 2. Not only is the multiplayer in this game some of the most entertaining experiences I have had ever in Call of Duty, but the zombies mode itself revolutionized what zombies is for the future of the next 2 games. And then we have the campaign, something that I myself don't hear much about from the Black Ops fanbase. Yeah, it's there, but it's something that people play once and then forget about. So in today's video, we're going to be hopping in and checking out the Black Ops 2 campaign. But before we do that, there's actually a little fun fact I have for you. Did you know that there is a portable version of this game that came out kind of simultaneously with Black Ops 2's release? This is the PS Vita version of Call of Duty Black Ops called Black Ops Declassified. It came out a day after Black Ops 2 officially released, and I don't really understand why it's out since it isn't Black Ops 2, but it is a very interesting correlation. I've actually never personally played it, but I've heard a lot of interesting things about it, and it's not supposed to be very good. But without further ado, let's hop in and show some love to one of the most intense, twist-filled adventures I have ever played in Call of Duty history. This story starts off with vehicles filled with soldiers rushing into a building. The soldiers seem to be searching for something. They've went from room to room, and there was only one left. And inside of this room, we have Woods. That's right, Woods, the guy who in Black Ops 1 looked like he died but now is alive. We also find out that these 2 characters are David, Mason, and Harper, who is voiced by Michael Rooker, who you might actually know from these roles in the past. The reason they're here is to find out if Menendez, our main villain of the story, has been here with Old Man Woods. From a flashback, we learn he was actually there, and David starts to get some weird visions which seem to be some kind of flashbacks to his younger years. From here, Woods decides to tell us a story about how he is involved with Menendez in the first place. And there he is, Alex Mason. Well, David's dad. The guy who killed JFK, the guy who is the main character in the first Black Ops. Here we start off with him being a bit of an asshole to young David, who falls because a damn helicopter shows up. Like, who decides to land this thing that close to someone, especially since they're on top of a tree? Actually, what are they doing on top of this tree? But the person who does decide to land it is Hudson. Another fun fact, they got Michael Keaton to voice him this time. Yes, Batman himself is in this game. I miss the day when they used to cast actually pretty big enough celebrities into their games, and no, I don't mean it as operators. We learned that he's here because they might have actually found Woods, or at least where he could be, who of course was presumed to be dead after what has happened and Nam with him and Kravchenko back in Black Ops 1. Oh, okay, so this is an interesting way to choose missions. You can customize your weapon, choose out your loadout, and it's actually something I didn't really use during my gameplay, but it is still pretty neat. It can kind of be confusing, but it seems like we're going to Angola in the year 1986.
They found where I was being held prisoner with a spy satellite. One of them KH-9s. This baby, it shits out a film canister 12 miles up. Then a C-130 comes by, snags it at about 30,000 feet. This was not the digital age. This film had to be processed, analyzed, and delivered.
Oh, those were some live action cutscenes, which is pretty neat. Oh my, this is an extreme way to start off a mission. A person burning and Mason trying to rescue him. Anyway, the main objective here is basically do a side quest. For a while, the Mason, Hudson, and Woods group just kind of joined wars to get help in finding out stuff, specifically about Menendez later on. And I think it's really funny that they just kind of go off on stuff and, just join up with some groups and are like, hey, we'll help you out if we get some info. Overall, it's a pretty chaotic and fun first mission. Gunshots blasting everywhere, deaths everywhere. You get to control Hudson inside of a chopper and blow some stuff up, and then we get this gem.
Our journey to victory has begun. Death to the MWIII!
Once the MWIII is defeated in a way, we find out where we could find Woods. We have to travel 2 miles north.
Kravchenko, when I sliced that bastard open, it saved everyone's ass. But he comes to first. Boom. Welcome to the Hanoi Hilton. 6 months later, they shipped me over to Da Nang. And this fucking place made the Hilton look good. Lost 17 of my group. By 72, it was just me. I was not gonna die in a fucking swamp!
Oh, so I guess that's what Woods has been up to. When we arrived at the place, there were some boats that we kinda crashed into. On here we had to basically clear out everyone, from soldiers on the boat to the actual other boats using a gunner. Here I also found out my first access thing inside of the game. This is basically a supply you get with some goodies in every single mission. You go up, you access it, and you can get some different stuff. For example, inside of this, you get a flat jacket. Once everyone was cleared out, we were able to open up this crate. And oh man, that's kind of awful. Thankfully, inside of here, we did actually find Woods, and let's just say he wasn't looking too good. And of course, we have been attacked by a helicopter, which I quickly took out, but we did crash onto a shore. This obviously probably alerted a bunch of people, and we had to escape. During our escape, we find some suspicious looking soldiers, and during this, Mason decides to go up to a radio station to alert for help. And let's just say things don't go very well.
Do not concern yourself with local politics. Prosta marionetka. Как ты. Bien. Как сказано.
You're a dead man unless you do exactly as I say. Tune the radio.
You're going to kill me, see?
Say hello to young Raul Menendez.
You son of a bitch!
Well, he got shot in the face, he must be dead, right? From here, the Great Escape started again. Trying to protect Woods and Hudson sometimes created a fun gameplay mission, constantly having to push back.
Fucking Russians. Damn it. No way out. You thought I would leave you? Ready? Come!
Well, we got him, Mason.
Can't kill me.
I love the reference here from Black Ops 1, first with Hudson's funniest moment in Black Ops 1, and then with Woods, you can't kill me.
You can't kill me!
He goes on to basically describe that Menendez causes chaos, and then frames it that he's actually the good guy in the whole situation. Typical villain kind of stuff. We are now in Myanmar in present day, which is 2025. Isn't that crazy? 2025, and here we are 12 years later after the game's release, and well, we definitely don't have a Menendez kind of guy, I guess. We're here to find out what Menendez has here. It's pretty cool making our way across the cliffside, and once we get past this area, which you know, I have no idea how they even got to this position, like how the hell did they end up on these cliffs, we get saved by Salazar, who is one of the other soldiers we're joined by the most inside of the rest of the missions. From here, we jump off of the cliff down to the area, and it's pretty neat trying to make our way through the valley. Once we're down here, it's just your normal guns blazing kind of thing. Also, the soldiers have these camouflage suits on, which are honestly annoying sometimes because they do actually work and I can't find them. I know, crazy. We make our way into the temple area that turns out to have an entrance into a lab, where it's actually just more shooting.
They sure as hell don't want us in here.
Oh dear God. No, where is he? Oh my God, look at him. He's so cute. J5, you're gonna be our little helper. Oh, there's a guy in this. His name is Eric. He tells us he can show us where the solarium is, the special metal thingy, so we can protect him by killing some dudes. J5, the little helper, did the best he could, which is obviously amazing. He killed a lot of army people. Good boy. And from here, we make our way further into the lab with Eric. He gives us something called quantum entanglement, which has more processing power than the entire military infrastructure. His words, not mine.
Nothing anyone can do to stop it. I couldn't stop it.
Why did I know that was gonna happen? Well, it was time to escape with the quantum thingy, and Eric, I guess, is dead now. Come on, J5, we gotta dip. So we pushed our way out, we found the rescue team, and here is where I knew I was going to have to end the mission and say goodbye to J5. But just before we ended, I had to find him, which I unfortunately couldn't. I'll miss you, little guy. Well, here's another kind of important person, Admiral Briggs. Quick interruption, these two guys, Harper and Briggs, throughout the entire campaign gave off sus vibes to me. I was basically prepared for them to betray me. Spoiler, they don't. Just felt like mentioning that. Also, yes, this is in a way my actual first time playing this game. It's actually a really long story.
Tu primera Guerra Fría. As a boy, he witnessed the country's rape and murder his people. In 1972, there was a colossal earthquake. His family lost everything. A year later, the only thing he ever loved, his sister Josefina, was crippled in a fire. Raúl and his father started over, sold drugs for easy money. They became rich, powerful legends of Managua. The Menendez cartel was all but untouchable, so the CIA took out Raúl's father in a US-sanctioned assassination.
Oh, that's extreme. And now we're in Afghanistan, which is once again kind of a side mission situation for the boys. Why is everyone so quiet in this mission? Oh, well that will make sense. We're taken to the leader, and well, look, it's Hudson. Because of course it is. Okay, so we're in another war situation, but this time with horses, which I will be honest was really sick. Riding a horse with rocket launcher? Yes please, give me more. Then we got to this part.
Must die.
I can't believe it, it's him. Somehow, Kravchenko is here. So basically, this is what his future holds for him after Cold War zombies. That is canon in any specific timeline. It's confusing. So we took him back to interrogate him. Let's just say it went a bit interesting. No, Mason, stop. No, stop. Come on, stop. He seems to be losing his marbles because of Kravchenko, who brings his PTSD number stuff back.
This guy's fucking with us.
Well, I guess he just did that for us. The most interesting info we got off of him is that someone works for Menendez in the CIA, which isn't very surprising. Oh, so we got betrayed. What a surprise. And of course, the thing that Mason sees rescuing us is Reznov. This guy, Mason, stop. So from here, the next mission is a bit weird. It's this Spec Ops mission. I don't entirely know if I had to do it, I just kind of did. It's kind of like a Spec Ops situation from Modern Warfare where you just have to protect points from these AI-like soldiers coming and attacking it. You have 10 minutes to protect it. I was stupid enough to skip the tutorial. I don't know why. It was a big mistake, but I kind of just about scraped completing it, and I never revisited these missions because they became an option. But yeah, I guess that happened. Back with David and Harper, they seem to be training. As they do, David continues to get flashbacks to him being young, and he's unsure what they could mean. So now, we're back with Woods to learn more about their involvement. So we're actually going to be finally hunting him down. Whoa, we're so close up. Oh wait, whoa, now we're him? With his sister? Oh no. Oh God, what's happening? Well, that was kind of messed up.
¡Despierta! He dicho despierta.
Lo sacaron sin que lo vieran.
Sí, nos tomó 4 para restringirlo.
Then I guess this guy's now a traitor who rescues us in a way. And now we're fully playing as Menendez. And it seems like we have to rush back to his home where his sister is at. And somehow he can hear her cries all the way from here. You know, I'm not gonna really question it. This part, you're basically an absolute invincible killing machine, switching between the Spaz 12 and a machete. But most interesting thing is the red rage-like mode we're in. It reminds me a lot of God of War's rage mode that you basically become an overpowered beast in, and it's kind of like the same situation here. Once we get to her, it turns out that Mason, Woods, and Hudson were here at the same time. And oh no, is that, oh, well, I guess now we're playing from the perspective of the other guys 15 minutes ago. Woods is absolutely not having it, and he wants to do everything in his power to kill Menendez, which even Mason is uncomfortable about. This side is what you'd expect. Get to the house to stop Menendez by killing a bunch of people. And then we learned that it was Woods who actually threw that grenade, and he's the one that killed the sister and basically provoked him to do all the crazy stuff he does now. It seems that Menendez was also in that explosion and he's somehow back now, even though he should have been dead. Back in present day, now it's David's mission to find DeFalco, who's essentially like a terrorist that works with Menendez. Meet Farid, who is our man on the inside who is actually working with Menendez. And so David is finally remembering the full picture.
What did you just say? Comes for what?
These flashes I'm getting. Die.
I know I was kidnapped the night my father died, but I could never see. It was Menendez. Did he kill my father? Okay, look, you know Woods raised me after my father died, right? But Woods always told me it was just some nut who did it, some drifter. What the hell's going on?
You suffer with me for all the sins of those who came before you.
Well, his motives are very clear to get his full revenge. And now we're in Pakistan, where we're trying to get information off of Menendez about a new device that he's working on with the new solarium thing called Karma. Oh my god, look at them. They're like big robots. Is that a flamethrower? Oh my goodness, you're so cute. Well, unfortunately, they can't really get through the deep water areas, so we have to regroup with those fellas later on. So we progress through the flooded streets and also some sewers. From about here, the mission turns into a stealth one that requires you to hide from drones that do the classic light imposition, which means that they can see you, which, you know, like obviously in real life, even if they didn't have the spotlight, they'd probably be able to see since it is bright enough. But then again, they are drones. I'm getting off topic. Nothing too difficult though, especially since Harper just kind of tells you everything you're meant to do. And once we find Menendez, we have to constantly move to other places to get better and more info off of it, which somehow results in Menendez doing that kind of typical villain thing where he's like, I knew all along. And he tries to like blow us up, but we get away and we finally get to use these bad boys. Yes, I get to control one of them. I can use the flamethrower, I can use the explosives, and oh my god, I loved every single bit of it. But this was only short-lived, and from here we're off on these vehicles to get away, which kind of posed for a very interesting part. We essentially have to drive, but for some odd reason I kept on dying. I don't entirely know what to. Like, the durability of these things was awful. But once we get to the end, we get met by the Pakistan leader.
We have no quarrel with China, General Zhao. Our only interest in Pakistan is Raul Menendez.
Then we have something in common.
But know this, American. If you are really here for Raul Menendez, I have no need to kill you.
Well, at least he's on our side, which is good. Now it was time to see what this karma thing was, which brought us to this boat called the Colossus. It was pretty fancy in here, and we nearly got caught, but thankfully that actually didn't happen, and it was the people right beside us who seemed to have something in their feet. I don't entirely know what that was, but we are traveling with some weaponry right now. Inside of this place, they had this interesting ad kind of display that was interesting to me, just because it could actually become a real life thing. Essentially, you walked up and then the ad itself changed to your face. So essentially when David walked up to it, it changed to David's face. I could honestly see this becoming a real thing in real life in just a few years. From here we took an elevator to split up and Harper ran into this lady, but remember her face. From here we need to really find out what this karma thing was. We took out some people that aren't exactly supposed to be here, the Falco people essentially, and we also used this spider thing to get onto this person to get his eyeball so that we could get through a door. I zapped him up a tiny bit, and unfortunately this kind of did get us caught. From here, we moved through the door and it was a lot of blasting left and right until we got to this kind of computer that reminded me of the Apple Vision Pro. If you haven't noticed, I'm kind of making a lot of comparisons. Since this game is set in 2025, it's interesting to see what in a year could be possible in a way, but since we now have the Apple Vision Pro and it's essentially almost the same thing like this computer, it's kind of cool to see. But here we find out that Karma isn't a device, isn't something crazy, but it's the person that Harper bumped into earlier. So now we have to go rescue her before the Falco gets to her, and it doesn't go very well because he does. From here we have to actually try to take down the Falco to get Karma back, and obviously just to kill him because he is a terrorist, which after a long shootout going from one area to another, I was able to shoot him and we were able to take Karma with us. Kind of a lot of interesting turns of events in this mission. It was okay. After this mission, since David had all of those flashbacks, he wanted to go back to Woods to really find out the true story, and Woods decided to take us back to 1989 during Christmas, and we actually get to play as Woods this time, since it does make sense as he is actually telling the story this time. What's interesting is somehow before, whenever he told the stories, we played as Mason. We're not gonna get into the extreme details. Essentially, the main goal here is to take down the traitor Noriega, which essentially is the guy who helped out Menendez earlier, and we go on this pursuit, which doesn't go very well because of course it doesn't go very well. A lot of shooting out, and inside of a motel we find him and take him hostage to bring him back to America per Ronald Reagan's orders.
Go ahead, Mason.
False Prophet secure. Moving to extract.
No, negative. Stand by for new tasking. Objective False Prophet has intel on a priority Nexus target. Escort him as PC to alternate location for prisoner exchange. More to follow.
Precious cargo, my ass.
Well, those aren't the plans anymore, I guess. So this provokes Mason and Woods to presume that Hudson might actually be the CIA member that Kravchenko mentioned on the inside because of all of these sudden changes. They decide to follow these orders and take him to a new area, which kind of goes okay. He does break out at one point, but we get him back because of course we do.
Do you still have the precious cargo?
Yes. But who the hell is Nexus target? What's more important than objective False Prophet?
You have to trust me, Mason. You have to. Hudson out.
Okay, so this is getting a bit suspicious, way more than before. So now Woods and Noriega move up to the roof to take out this said target? Okay, what is happening? He just shot that person.
No, I betrayed him.
Him? Hudson, who is Nexus target? Hudson!
It's him, Woods. Nexus target is Raul Menendez.
Oh, okay, so I'm supposed to shoot this person. Well, I guess I'll shoot him in the head.
End this now, Woods.
What are you looking so smug about? The fuck is going on? What's going on here? No.
So, spoilers once again. This game has 8 different endings. I know, it's crazy, but I kind of did something stupid here. So there is a way to have Mason actually live at the very end, because this is Mason. I shot him in the head, and if you shoot him anywhere but his head, at the very end of the game, you can have Mason and Woods having a reunion, and I kind of won't get this ending. Just wanted to put this out there, since there are 8 endings, like I think that's crazy, and I don't know if any of them are actually 100% canon. There's the good ending, the bad ending, worst ending, yada yada. You can look them up online. They're actually very interesting.
Your best friend, Alex Mason, is dead. By your own hand. Do you understand why?
He was gonna kill David.
Because you must suffer, as I have suffered. Now one more must die. You, Woods, or David? Make a decision now, or in 10 seconds you're all dead.
Woods, I can't. I have 2 kids. They...
Fuck! Okay, me! Do it! Do it! Your life will be consumed by absolute loss.
I let that whole thing play out because even to this day, it's heartbreaking. Like full on, it just gets me in the feels. This villain that I know I despise kills at least one of my favorite characters in these games. This is something that I'd argue is extremely well made. They actually have a good way for you to sympathize with Menendez, that being his sister's death, and then he also does something horrible to, well, some horrible people if you really think about it. I just want to make a subtle comparison here to a different game. Yeah, I think this is done way better than that one in the sense of killing off likable characters and actually giving them a solid reason and not just some random doctor dude. Whoa, how did we get here? Not the kind of video that I was supposed to be making. But after David found out everything, surprisingly, he actually took it very well, which, you know what, I'll give him props for being the better person in this scenario. Now, with the help of karma, we learn Menendez's true motive, and we really had to stop him now, since it was looking not too good as he planned to essentially take out the whole world. And we were really running out of time, as it seemed like we only had 2 days left to completely stop him. So now we play as Farid, the man on the inside, and from here we really have to try not to blow our cover. The US does show up during this stage performance that is already very suspicious, and Menendez does escape, and from here you play as Farid taking out these US soldiers. One interesting thing that I find is how far Farid and everybody else is making him to go. He is the man on the inside, so he is on the good people's side in a way, but he has to take out his own soldiers as well just so his cover doesn't get blown, which you do actually get to a part where Menendez blows up the chopper that Harper is on, and now he has captured Harper and makes you choose a very difficult decision. Either kill Harper or attempt to shoot Menendez, which obviously isn't an option Menendez gives you. And me being me, I can't shoot Harper. No matter how suspicious I think he is on my side. So I decided to shoot Menendez, and this is actually something that affects the kind of ending you get, and it does kind of affect the way Farid's ending also goes. He dies. From here, David finds Harper, who's on the ground, somehow actually was left alive completely. Menendez didn't decide to kill him, and David is on the hunt. So you actually catch him this time. Menendez is just sitting inside of a chopper, doing nothing but being captured. In my opinion, this is way too suspicious. From here, we bring him to a boat called Barack Obama, which I will be honest is kind of a cool name, but also at the same time, it's so weird hearing throughout the entire mission that is coming, them constantly calling it Obama or just Barack Obama. It's just weird, but it also is kind of cool. So on Obama, we are interrogating Menendez, and one thing leads to another, and there seems to be some kind of plane coming this way. So Menendez actually breaks out in some way and knocks David out. Once David comes back to his senses, he has to catch Menendez before it's too late, because this does look like it's all planned, but for what reason? Once we get to a certain point, it appears that Briggs gets caught by Menendez and is held at gunpoint with Karma and a bunch of other soldiers, including Salazar.
Salazar, shoot through me! Kill this son of a bitch! No!
And so he's the traitor. What a surprise. But not only that, he also killed Karma. From here, Menendez decides to pop out his eyeball and infest the computer with a virus. I also love when my viruses tell me they are completely uploaded, even specifically calling themselves virus. This means that Menendez now has control over all of the United States of America drones and new technology. Essentially, not good. David tries to catch up to Menendez, who escapes, and unfortunately, but also fortunately, Salazar gets his end by getting a bullet in his head for becoming the traitor that he is. This next mission that we get almost feels like a filler to me, just because the main thing is you have to protect the President of the United States of America, which is interesting because it just kind of takes the opportunity to show you what kind of drones he has access to, which are the things that attack you once you're inside of a chopper, and from here you have to evacuate the president on the ground. One interesting thing is they give you the option of choosing which way you want to go. It's something that now seems to be a very popular thing inside of the game. Before, you get to choose if you want to shoot Briggs or not, which I shot him in the legs, which I'm guessing is a good thing to do. You basically let him live. And here it's like, oh, do you want to go the top way or the bottom way? I decided to go the bottom way. It kind of goes on forward to just shoot a bunch of people inside of the city, drive a vehicle, and then you actually get to control this jet, which is, I guess, the most interesting thing that happens during this. Somehow David has the ability to get inside of it and shoot a bunch of people and then jump out of it and still survive. He is our main character, of course, but once everybody escapes, we finally get to track down where Menendez is because of the signals from the drones, and he seems to be in Haiti. So we're off. This mission starts off by jumping out of a plane down to the bottom. It is pretty cool trying to avoid all these explosions, and once you're at the bottom, again, just kill a bunch of people until you get to this room. And we find out this.
You guys, can you get in?
Raul Menendez is transmitting a live webcast. He's on right now.
Opulence is sinful, and we all pay for it. Los Angeles was the flagship of their absurd materialism. So I destroyed it.
I'm locked out. Can you hack into the system?
They thought I wanted to kill the president.
We're fucked.
Doña Presidente, I could have buried you 1,000,000 times over. No. I wanted you to see it. To feel what it's like.
The drones are being controlled from Haiti. What? Sir, there's nothing more we can do.
Today,
we cannot regain access to the drones.
2 billion people exist in abject misery, tyrannized by war.
He's ready to strike New York. We gotta stop it.
Doña Presidente.
What the fuck?
Your war machines are...
He self-destructed the drones.
Your military...
Why?
...is crippled. You cannot stop us now. War is near. Rise and strike while they are down. Strike now and strike.
So I don't really understand what his motives were completely, like just show him how bad it could be. From here, it turns out that Menendez is actually still here, and David suggests a very interesting thing to look for anyone, even people dressed in their own outfits, which is pretty smart because we get to him, finally. Start off with a slow-mo shot, and then there he is, wearing actual uniform, and you get the choice of spare or shoot. I didn't waste any time. I shot him. I don't care what kind of ending I get. I couldn't let him go on. I know. I was like, oh, you can sympathize with Menendez, but hell no. I shot him. And that's it, ladies and gentlemen. That's the story. Kind of. Because from here you find out he uploaded a video onto YouTube that absolutely popped off. 300 million views. Dude, go off. He did something called Cordistia. And then from here, we get to see Woods and David at Mason's grave, which is pretty nice. It does kind of have a weird flow. Like, as you could see there, it was kind of like going in and out. But, so that's what Cordis Dia is. It's not good. I guess this is kind of like the bad ending. What is it? Oh my god, I completely forgot this is an ending. So this is essentially a like non-canon ending that no matter what you do, you still get inside of the game. It's kind of just funky, over the top, fun stuff where Menendez is in a band with Woods, and I'm pretty sure this is also some other celebrities. Please don't attack me if they are actual people, but they play a song which is copyrighted, and unfortunately I cannot play for you. But inside of here, I think my favorite moment is when Mason, who should have survived if you haven't ever killed him, dancing with Reznov at the end, who turns out to actually not be there. That was probably my favorite moment. And overall, all of the cast is dancing. You got Hudson, you got Karma, Harper, everyone is here just having a great time. I will be honest, I think this is my favorite part from it. Just Woods tippy tapping is just funniest thing ever. And then also this bit where he just gets off of the chair. It's just really funny. But anyway, ladies and gentlemen, that's the campaign. It was actually really good and really fun to replay / play for the first time. I kind of never completely finished it, and it was fun to actually get to experience it. COD 2024 is Treyarch's next big game, and there's only so many other Call of Duty campaigns that we can play that will be leading us up to COD 2024. That's kind of what I'm doing here, but also I just want to play more games and talk about my experience and be a quick breakdown of long campaigns of different kinds of games. Right now we covered Black Ops 2 and also Black Ops 1. If you want to check out the Black Ops 1 video, it's the most recent video, but this Black Ops 2 one, I'm trying to kind of have more fun and explore new things with each new upload. So if you do enjoy these kind of videos, hey, definitely be sure to subscribe. That's what we're going to be uploading from now on, and probably for as long as I can, just because I'm actually having fun making these videos. Not only do I get to play amazing stories, but then talk to you about them in different kinds of ways and break down a 4-hour long story into just below an hour, or even sometimes half an hour. But if you want an overall review quickly of Black Ops 2, it is probably, if not just my favorite Call of Duty ever. I love Black Ops 3 and all of the other ones, but actually replaying it, it's great fun. Unfortunately, I wasn't actually able to play multiplayer as of the time that I'm recording this voiceover, but Zombies still holds up, and as I've mentioned at the beginning of this video, it literally just shaped what Zombies is. I know Black Ops 1 set up a story, but this one, specifically with Origins, set up such an amazing, fantastic story inside of Black Ops 3 that finished off in Black Ops 4, and now we're getting even the continuation of it. It really did shape the way it all went from here, and I'll just have great memories from it, and now even better memories with this campaign, which even though I talked to you about it and you potentially have watched this far, if you haven't replayed it or played it, I really recommend you still do it, because I do cut out some stuff. I'm not going to talk about the entire thing. I only tell you the most interesting stuff and mainly the story things. I'm going to try to implement more like, oh, the gameplay, blah blah blah, as we go forward. It's a lot of trial and error, so I'm seeing what works and what doesn't. This is a mixture of a script and no script, so if you notice some interesting stuff here and there, then I hope you did really enjoy it. I really enjoyed making it, and the next one unfortunately is Black Ops 3. As much as I don't want to play it, we will. And I guess I might do a Black Ops 4 one. I don't really know if there's a full-on story there. There kind of is. And then Cold War. And then from there, we're gonna move on to the next Call of Duty. And then from there, we might move on to Battlefields or wherever. Zombies games, war games, or just story games overall. Thank you so much for watching. I'll see you guys in the next one. Peace out.